What's happening, APLers? Here at the Week 9 preview. Go through the 5 matchups and see who we think's going to win in this division versus division battle week here. So, first match we have is Ryan versus Greg. So these are the two guys that have traded their stuff away or started trading their stuff away here, and they square off this week. So this shit's in my way, so I can't see. There we go, Ryan. So Ryan leads the all-time matchup 20-14 between Ryan and Greg. So looking at Ryan's squad here, we got Caleb Williams going in at quarterback against the Cardinals. Seems like a decent spot. Cardinals giving up 314 points a week on average, and they've been crushed by pretty much everybody. A little concerning with the Caleb Williams start last week to start him. So Ryan also has Jameis on the bench, who looked really good last week for Cleveland. 413 points last week. He plays the Chargers this week, and the Chargers have been really good against the pass. So looks like we're playing the matchups there, hoping that Caleb can get some stuff done. Running back Chase Brown is going to be the lead back this week for the Bengals with Zach Moss out. So looks like a good spot for Chase Brown. Raiders are pretty bad against the run. They're just pretty bad in general, but not the worst against the run, but they're not good. So good matchup there. Chase Brown should do some fun stuff. Running back 2 spot is interesting for Ryan. I got to take Bigsby in there now. ETN might play, so that might kind of muddy the waters here. We got Ray Davis and Devin Singletary. The bench Singletary looked like a good add earlier in the week when Tyrone Tracy wasn't going to play, but he's going to play now. So Ryan's probably rolling with either Bigsby or ETN and see how that if there's a decision there once you get some more status on ETN. Wide receiver for Ryan, you got Tank Dell, had a really nice game against the Jets on Thursday night. He was the de facto #1 for a week until Nico comes back, and he parlayed that into 6 catches for 126 yards, 132 points. Really nice week. The other 2 guys starting for Ryan are both free agent pickups. We got Calvin Ridley, had a big week last week. Gets the Patriots this week. Mason Rudolph is still throwing the ball. There's no DeAndre Hopkins, so worth a shot against the Patriots. And then Jalen Coker is the other guy in the starting lineup here. So Coker is, I don't know, taken over as one of the top 2 receivers with Thielen hurt and then Deontay Johnson traded. So Coker now gets to play the severely depleted Saints secondary. So Coker he's a rookie. He had 4 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown last week. So maybe he's the new #1. Legette's going to play too, so maybe Coker's the #1, and with everybody traded away, it's worth a shot for Ryan. Ertz has been surprisingly solid. Over 100 points the last 3 weeks with a 140, a 104, and a 161. Gets the Giants this week, who've been tough against tight ends, but he's way better than Johnny Smith, which is the other option. So 93 points for Ertz should be fine. Dicker's been doing a fine job kicking the defenses here, and that's what Ryan's squad looks like. On the Greg side of the ball, we got some changes here too. So Greg is rolling with the pickup of Joe Flacco against the Vikings on Sunday night, and hoping that Flacco can find some of the magic that other teams have had against the Vikings. So they gave up 370 to Stafford last week, 338 to Goff the week before. They were solid against Rodgers, only giving up 283, but then 479 against Jordan. So, and then 359 against Purdy in week 2. So it can definitely be passed on. So Flacco looks like a good streamer start here. And Sam Darnold is his other option with Darnold versus Flacco. I guess it's kind of a toss-up. It just depends how the game goes there. So, but Flacco's been solid when he's played so far for the Colts. Running back, a little interesting right now. We have James Conner in. He's the every week start kind of guy. Gets the Bears, tougher matchup there against the Bears. So there might not be feeling the huge performance from Conner, but still 100 points about there is good. Julius Chestnut is the other guy in the starting lineup right now. So believe that this was the pickup when it looked like Pollard and Spears were going to miss, but it looks like Pollard is going to play now. So it'll be interesting to see if Chestnut gets swapped out for somebody else. Madison was a starter earlier this week, so maybe he swaps in there and he'll project for more than 23 points. Wide receiver, also a little bit interesting. Ladd McConkey in the lineup this week. Really nice week last week. See if he can keep things going there. Gets a Browns secondary who I think they're a little banged up, and they've definitely been able to be passed on so far this year. So they're the 28th best against wide receivers, which is bad. So good spot for McConkey. JSN in the lineup here with DK out should be a decent spot against the Rams. So just think there's gonna be a lot of volume for JSN. He only has one game over 100 points so far this year. And the Rams, surprisingly, not that bad against receivers. So see if you can get anything done. Parker Washington is the one of the new de facto lead receivers for Jacksonville when all of their guys got hurt last week. And Greg is rolling with Parker Washington for now, and Puka's on the IR. It sounds like Puka's going to play, so Puka probably swaps in here and adds another 40, 50 points to the total for Greg. It's projected. Cade Otton has been a beast the last few weeks. The matchup against KC is good. They do not defend the tight end well. They've been taken to the cleaners by Isaiah Likely, Mike Gesicki, Kyle Pitts, Kittle, and Brock Bowers. So everybody's had good weeks against them in the tight end area. So maybe this is the spot for Otton, or maybe the Chiefs decide that the tight end is what they need to cover this week because Kansas City may not have any other the Bucks may not have any other real receivers to cover. So defense looks fine in this. So we played all out here. Right now, Ryan is projected on top by a healthy margin. I do think swap it of a different running back and Puka adding in makes this closer. But we'll go with Ryan stinks out win here. The Bucks duo on Monday Night Football come close, but I think the KC defense will find a way to shut down Cade Otton, and Bucks may not be able to move the ball too much and shut down some field goal opportunities for Chase McLaughlin. All right, next matchup, Daggy versus Tank. So I stole this joke from Tank for the Doug Judy here. So Tank leads the all-time series 6-5. And now we'll take a look at the players. So Daggy's got Jaden Daniels rolling at quarterback. Gets the Giants. Again, not sure if matchup really matters here too much. Jaden Daniels has just been good. So he has one game so far this year. Oh, sorry. Aside from injury, he has one game where he's been under 300 points for the year and had a season high last year against the Bears. So the Giants have been an okay spot for matchup perspective. So Jaden Daniels got to feel good about that. Saquon gets the Jags, and that's another one you got to feel pretty good about. Jags have definitely been able to be taken advantage of on the ground. Josh Jacobs had 166 last week. Swift had 143 a couple weeks ago. Definitely have been susceptible on the ground. Not as bad as in the air, but they can. So Saquon, great start every week. 130. Just hope he gets some of the touchdowns instead of it all being tush pushes with Hurts. Wide receiver gets a little dicey this week with Mike Evans out and DK Metcalf out and George Pickens on bye. He is grabbing Jacoby Myers at the waiver wire. Looks like a solid pickup. He's the number one there in Vegas for whatever that's worth. He's going to get 7 to 10 targets, and against the Bengals, maybe they'll be behind. I'm not really sure if that matters for Vegas. They just try to run ball a lot, but he should be fine. 73 or so. Amon-Ra, so you're hoping for more from Amon-Ra than we've gotten so far this year. We're 7 games in the season. We've been over 100 points only 3 times so far. Packers don't seem like the greatest spot to put up the 300 or the 100-point game, and just hoping that Amon can get some stuff done. Xavier Worthy against the Bucks. Just hoping this guy can get more touches. He's been getting targets. He has 8 targets in the last 2 games. Only turned that into 27 and 61 points. The Bucks pretty bad at defending the pass, so maybe this is the spot where he can get deep and have an impact. He's been over 100 points once, and that was in week 1. Ingram at tight end, it's a good spot. Philly is, I think their pass defense is fine, but the Jags are going to need to pass a ton. So Ingram, I think it's all right. Brendan Aubrey, jury duty's done now, so maybe we're going to be back to kicking a bunch of field goals this week. So 115 is his average. And defense there, I think looks pretty solid. Terrell Dodson, not playing as much lately, but the guys are good. The tank side of the ball, we have a quarterback conundrum here. We're trying to figure out who do we start: Matt Stafford, Geno Smith, or Tua. So we get Stafford on the road against Seattle, assuming Puka plays. Seems like a pretty okay bet. Geno, so he has a flip side in that game. We have Geno against the Rams. So Geno does not have DK. So maybe that's a deciding factor there. And then Tua is at Buffalo. Tough to know how that game's going to go. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody really, if there any of those three guys really stand out as who to start. Definitely, I think Geno probably stands out not to start just because he's missing DK. But Stafford is the play here right now for Tank. So 290 is what he's projected for. Running backs look really good. James Cook gets the Dolphins. Dolphins are horrific against the run. Oh, that's wrong. I thought they were really bad, but they're middle of the pack against the run. They had a big run of guys going into the triple digits against them there in the middle. So I think that's fine. James Cook has just been really good though. So 176 last week, and 121, 111, 156, 106. It's got a 49 and a 52 mixed in there too, but gotta feel good about James Cook and even feel better about Kyron. So Kyron just finds a way to score every week, and he's been in over 100 points. Excuse me, actually over 116 points the last 5 weeks. So he's going to touch the ball a ton. The Seahawks are a good spot for Kyron. Zay Flowers has been having a great season. The Broncos matchup is a little bit concerning. They're going to control the clock a lot. They're going to try to grind the game a little bit, and they don't give up a ton. Is Patrick Surtain going to follow Zay Flowers around? Probably not. But the matchup isn't great. But Zay Flowers has been really good. So feel okay about that. Jerry Jeudy, Doug Jeudy here gets the start for Tank. He has Jordan Addison and Keon Coleman on the bench. Jeudy gets the Chargers. Chargers have been tough against the pass overall. Jeudy hasn't been over 100 points yet this year, in 84 last week, with Mari Cooper being traded. So maybe got a sign of things to come here that Jeudy is solid. Keon Coleman gets the Dolphins. They've also been tough against the pass. And then Addison, probably not that trustworthy. So Jaden Reed goes against the Lions. Great matchup. Lions definitely get beat through the air. And just hope that they get Jaden Reed more than the 3 targets he had last week and 4 the week before that. So it really just comes down to usage for Jaden Reed. The talent and production, when given the opportunity, is definitely there. You just want more opportunities. The long-awaited debut of TJ Hawkinson is in for Tank here. So the Sunday night game is just filled with a bunch of players. It'll be fun to watch. The Vikings and Colts go at it. So we'll get to see if Hawkinson is looking super healthy after being out with the torn ACL. We'll see how involved he is in the passing game, if he's at a full workload and all that. So I think 81 points is projecting probably the low side for Hawkinson, and the conservative side, maybe there's some upside there if he's all the way back. Reichard, he's good at kicking field goals. Hasn't missed yet. He will now because I said that, but hasn't missed yet this season. And seems like he can kick it from anywhere. So it just comes down to opportunities. Defense looks pretty good for Tank. So break this one down. It's Daggy with a little bit of an advantage here. So 111 or 1,111. Wow, I can't. It's late. I can't figure things out too. 1028 here. So I think Daggy moves to 5-4. I think the big guns get it done for Douche here. That's the Jaden Daniels and Saquon and Amon-Ra. get some stuff done for day game, move him into the win column. Next matchup is me versus Solomon, the newly souped up Solomon squad. So just told Kevin that this week, if there was any question who the best trash talker is in the league, it's Solomon, and it's not close. So we've had some good exchanges so far this week. The trash talk is very tailored to me. It's impressive. So looking forward to the banter back and forth here for the weekend. So all-time record is me by 1 win. So we'll probably even up after this weekend. So looking at Solomon's roster here, Bo Nix is in the lineup right now for Solomon, but that's going to be Jordan Love. He's going to play. He gets the Lions. Lions can't. It's tough to run against the Lions. Easy to pass against the Lions. So Jordan Love's going to be in a good spot. Chuba gets another start this week. The rookie, Mr. Brooks, is not going to play this week, so the backfield is all Chuba's against the Saints, and it's a good spot. So Chuba he's trailed off a little bit, I think, the last couple weeks compared to where he was at before. He had 73 and 72 the last few weeks after being over 100 for 4 weeks in a row. But the Saints could change that. So Saints are giving up 173 points a week to running backs, and they've been crushed by quite a few people. So good opportunity here for Chuba. Jonathan Taylor is the newly acquired guy for Solomon here. He's been averaging about 130 points a week against the Vikings defense, who has been pretty tough against the run, but it's Jonathan Taylor. He's been really good every week other than week 1 and the 3 weeks he was hurt. So he's always a threat to have a great game. So looks good there. Jefferson against the Colts, another great spot. Pittman against the Vikings, I think that's a great spot. Talked about Flacco before too. So really huge game here for Solomon is the Sunday night game, and then Monday night you get Kelsey and Bucker there against the Bucks, and the Bucks defense is not really stopping anybody. So it looks more of a shootout-ish game if Kansas City actually does that. Garrett Wilson had a really nice game on Thursday, 2 touchdowns, 1 ridiculous touchdown for 139 there is a nice score. Defense looks fine. So I think this will really come down to, so my team pretty much all plays at noon. I got a couple of guys at 3. So we'll see how many points I can put up there at noon. And then Solomon's going to have the Sunday night. He'll have Jordan Love, and then the Sunday night game, and then the Monday night game to break down my lead. My daughter's crying, which is awesome. So I have Dak against the Falcons. Still trying to decide between Dak and Baker Mayfield. It's hard to start somebody against the Kansas City defense because they've been really good. It's also Dak has not just been automatic so far this year, but Falcons matchup seems pretty good. It seems like that could be a good fantasy game. So we'll see. Achane against the Bills. I like that matchup. Bills are bad against the run. Achane's definitely been really good when Tua is playing, so feel good about that. Mixon with 126, a solid game for Mixon. Was hoping for more. He had 100 points at like halftime, so not much happened in the second half for the Texans overall, but won't complain about 126. Jamar against the Raiders, always a threat to do really good stuff, so I think he just hoping he can go nuts. CD against the Falcons, that's the Dak to CD connection there. CD was really good last week with 199, just hoping for more there against the Falcons. And then Drake London on the other side of that game. He's kind of the less of the big play guy, just going to get the volume to eat up his points. Kim McBride against the Bears with the best matchup there. The Bears are pretty good against the pass overall, and they're not going to, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be a shootout kind of game there, but McBride has been huge the last few weeks, so just hoping for more there. Defense is fine. So the projections here are really strong for Solomon and I. It comes out with Solomon 10 points ahead of me here. If I can get this thing to go, there we go. So 1,200 to 1,190. Go Solomon. Solomon gets a big win. So I think the Colts guys close the gap on Sunday Night Football, and then Kelsey and Butker put it away for him and get him the big win. So love to see the aggressive moves from Solomon at the 3-5 record to trade picks away to get running back and a wide receiver to help him, and I think that makes a difference here in the week. All right, Sade versus Corey. The next matchup, there's Josh Allen in his Halloween costume from this week, so the picture is a little blurry, but what I could do about it. I don't know where there. It's weird. Today leads the all-time series 14-8. And look at the matchups here. They can get this to work. All right, so the newly acquired Josh Allen steps into the starting lineup. CJ Stroud did not do much on Thursday, so this is already looking like a decent spot here for Josh Allen. So Josh Allen, it looks like he's been the normal Josh Allen from last year, the last couple weeks. Dolphins matchup is great. He does a nice job crushing them, so looks good. Derrick Henry against the Broncos. Love that spot. Broncos have been good at defense. They're with the eighth fewest points in APL scoring against running backs. So not the best spot, but it's still Derrick Henry. He's been good every week. Bijan against the Cowboys, great spot. The Cowboys are really bad at defense in general, and Bijan is the majority of the not the majority, but he's definitely involved all over the place for Falcons. So really good spot. Cooper Kupp against the Seahawks, like it. It's good. Terry McLaurin against the Giants, good. He's been great the last few weeks after a little bit of a slow start. He's at 108, 99, 104, 130 the last 4 weeks. So it's kind of an auto start for today there. And then on the flip side of that game, you have Blake Neighbors on the other side of the ball, who after a torrid start has been a little slow after his injury. He had 13 targets last week, but only turned that into 7 for 71. Not really due to his talent, more due to Daniel Jones. But Kincaid gets the start here at tight end. I think Kincaid or Laporta is kind of a toss-up. But Kincaid gets the stack with Josh Allen in the Miami matchup. So that's what we're going with. I mean, overall, Kincaid's been fine. He's been, hovering around the 80 to 100 point range there. So seems like a pretty solid bet for that. Kicker defense look fine. Tucker, maybe not as automatic as he has been. And the Ravens have just been converting so many into touchdowns. So, all right, on the Corey side of the ball, Mahomes gets to start this week. We got Kirk last week, but we get Mahomes against Tampa this week. So Tampa is average is giving up 367 points a week. Let's see, opposing quarterbacks. Tough to pass that one up, especially with DeAndre Hopkins in the mix. So Corey has the stack for that here. So good matchup. Just don't trust Mahomes to throw the ball that much if they can get ahead of the Bucs. Nobody's really gotten ahead. Most of the Bucs games have been shootouts, so seems like a good spot. Nick Chubb doesn't seem like Nick Chubb so far. He's averaging, I heard, like 2.7 yards per carry so far. It's a ton of carries, not a lot of yards. Chargers matchup is tough, but I think it's probably the best option here for Corey with the second running back. Sounds like Josh Jacobs is going to play. He's going to play against the Lions. Really tough matchup here. They give the second fewest points in the league. So like Josh Jacobs, just not that much this week. AJ Brown against the Jags. That's a good spot for sure. Jags get wrecked through the air. AJ Brown's really good. Smash spot. DeAndre Hopkins limited last week in his routes. Maybe they get some more this week because he's been integrated with the team for the whole week. Now Bucks are a good spot, so he gets 54. I think is the low side. I think that could be higher. And then Mooney against the Cowboys. We're leaving Amari Cooper and DJ Moore on the bench here to start Hopkins and Mooney for Corey. So Amari probably can't be relied on for having 90 in week 1 with the Bills and then 4 last week. Tough to start him. And DJ Moore just hasn't been great. He has 1 week of 150, but other than that, it's probably a guy that you don't roster. So I can definitely understand why Corey is rolling with Hopkins and Mooney. Mooney gets a nice match against the Cowboys, who are really bad at defense. So Cole Kmet gets a start this week with Kittle out. And 78 points seems kind of low, but he had 31 last week. He's got some triple-digit numbers in here with the 224 in week 3. So a guy who could definitely go off. Just really depends on how that game is going to play out there between the Bears and the Cardinals. So I think there's a little more upside than 78 for Kmet. McPherson is averaging 62, so not the most at kicker there. The Bengals really haven't been kicking me field goals. So defense looks all right for Corey. And This comes down to Sade having pretty sizable advantage here, 1128 to 992. So I think Sade gets back in the win column after losing 2 in a row. And Allen to Kincaid is the thing, and then running backs make a big difference here. All right, I'm gonna try to run through the last one because my kid is still crying. All right, ooh, screwed up my stuff here. So we have Jake leads all time over the super team, 13 to 15. So this is the fun matchup. The two division leaders going head to head here. So super team 6-2, Jake 6-2, and obviously somebody's going to be 7-2, and somebody's going to be 6-3, and potentially the loser could be tied for the division. If I can win, I would be tied with the super team if they lose, and Sade can win, he would be tied up with Jake, both at 6-3. So we'll see how this all plays out. So super team Burrow against the Raiders, sure. I don't think Burrow's a bad start, but just don't know if they'll have to do that much against the Raiders. So Raiders haven't given up a ton against the pass, but it's probably because people need to pass against them. No T. Higgins. I think that impacts Burrow a little bit there. Jahmyr Gibbs against the Packers. We saw last week what that guy can do, 7-yard touchdown a day, pretty much at any time. So love Gibbs. Walker against the Rams. Seems like a really good spot too. Rams are susceptible on the ground. And Ken Walker is involved all over the place. Oh, she's really crying. All right. Josh Downs against the Vikings. We're really reached the point where Josh Downs is a starter for the super team here. We have Jalen Waddle on the bench because he fucking sucks this year. Nico's dead. Higgins is dead. Ricky Pearsall is the other guy. So Downs against the Vikings seems fine. Olave against the Panthers. Great spot there. The Panthers are bad at everything. Olave is like the only last man standing, and he gets Derek Carr back. So good spot. Devonta against the Jags. I think it's the standard Devonta stuff. How much of the pie is he going to get? He had 111 last week and -1 the week before. Jags suck against the pass, so lean more towards the 111 side. Bowers versus Pitts is a good decision here for the super team. It's rolling with Bowers, who's been consistent the whole year, but I think both these guys could be relied on to start, so I'm not sure if you can go wrong with either one. It's got the Young Ho in the defense. Sherwood had a nice game on Thursday night. On the Jake side, Lamar has been good Lamar the whole year. Denver, not the best spot here, so still projecting for 345, but maybe a bit of a down week for Lamar. Hunt against the Bucks seems fine. He's been trailing off a little bit, getting a ton of carries, just not converting it into a lot of yards, but he's still going to get the volume. Kamara against the Panthers is a great spot, one of the best of the week for running backs here, so smash spot for Kamara. Devontae gets a big touchdown to end the game there to get up to 118 for the week. It's a nice little bonus there for Jake there. So Tyreek against the Bills. Read some stuff this week that historically the Bills have done a good job of slowing down Tyreek. So maybe this isn't a smash week for Tyreek. Cortland Sutton is the wide receiver du jour of the week, third wide receiver du jour of the week for Jake this week. Sutton gets the Ravens. They don't defend the pass well, and Sutton was all right last week, so why not? Njoku finally gets into the starting lineup for Jake against the Chargers. He's been good. 147, 182 the last 2 weeks, so looks like a good spot. Austin Seibert has been kicking a ton of field goals the whole year, so 126 is the average, which is a huge number. And we had it all up, and it comes out with Jake with a 23-point advantage over the super team. So really interested to see how this one plays out. I think that Jake wins the battle of division leaders, and Devontae, that's supposed to say starts it. Devontae started it on Thursday, and Levante and Hunt finish it off on Monday night. So I think this will be a fun one to watch. And this is the summary. Sorry, my kid is like crying a lot right now, so I'm not going to run through it. But that's what we got. And good luck to everybody. Hope nobody gets hurt in the middle of the game, and hope everybody wins. Later.